All right, so there's some interesting comments on my video about trying to help guys with some tips for their online dating profile. And the first thing I said was for guys looking for a relationship, but the guys on there, they want to know how they can get that vagina. And that is the problem, guys. You're on there looking for a vagina, and only about 20% of women on these apps are hooking up. And in real life, it might even be less. It's the nature of women to seek, we're security seeking creatures, and we evolve to be selective. Women will generally have sex with a guy that they like enough to be in a relationship with. There is a certain percentage of women who don't adhere to that, and they're the women that are like kind of the outliers. They're very more sexual than other women, and they're not the feminine women that you want. They're very controlling, and they like to be dominant in the bedroom. They're like the dick bouncers. They will come over, ride your dick, and leave and never want to see you again. They're not sweet, feminine women. A lot of women that were sexually abused. I always say that the only times that a typical woman would go through a hookup phase, listen closely because I have to repeat myself a lot, is when she's really young and exploring her sexuality, like in college. So by age 20, 21, she's out of that. Or after the end of a relationship, a long-term marriage, like in my case, a long-term relationship. Other than that, women are not DTF. The women that will have an affair with you or keep hooking up with you are doing that, waiting for you to leave your wife, hoping for a relationship. They are not thriving with the hookups the way that you are. So someone left a comment on my video saying, well, how can I get one of these 20%? And I'm not looking for a one-night stand. I want an ongoing sexual relationship with no commitment. Again, sir, you're not understanding women. That does not exist. You're looking for feminine, nourishing, submissive, sweet energy, and you want it in an ongoing sexual situation without a relationship. This doesn't exist. This is why guys like you, I'm sorry to be so blunt, are striking out, because you are coming at women with what we don't want, your dick. That's it. That is why so many women are unhappy with the dating apps, because it's full of vagina chasers. And most of these guys are not worth it in bed. And then also, we don't want to just have sex for one time. We mostly want a relationship. Actually, that is where most of the sex is happening. We know from survey data that single people are having the least sex of anyone. So if you're going on a dating app looking for the 20% of women who are down DTF, you still have to appeal to a woman's emotional nature, and you have to be honest about that's what you want. But when I talk to the guys who get women, they usually don't want to fuck the same woman over and over. The guys that are spinning plates or they're not ready for a relationship, pretty much after they had sex with the woman once, they really don't want to deal with her again. Maybe a second time, but unless the guy really likes a woman, he doesn't want to have sex with her a second time. So if you're looking for a woman that you can have sex with over and over, you might be more interested in a relationship. And that's ultimately what most women are going to want. The problem is that men go on there looking for vagina. And that's not what we want. So people are on there for very different reasons. Like I said, if you're a guy looking for a relationship, you can easily get one online. But if you're just looking for a vagina, you might be better off hiring a prostitute. But I will tell you, and all these guys have been leaving comments, oh, like you're a pro, you're some paid person. When I was doing that, none of these guys would have passed muster, because you have to pass screening and you have to be respectful and you've got to pay money, like $600 an hour. And some of these guys are too broke and too clueless to be respectful enough to pass the screening. So most of these guys on the dating apps would, even a hooker would turn them down. I'm sorry to be so blunt. You've got to have some social skills, some manners, and some money to see a pro. So, and a lot of these pros want to have your real world information. They want to know where you work. They want to see your driver's license, and they want to see references from other professional women you've seen to make sure that you're safe and that they want to see you. So they're even more selective. Because I have heard about women that I've had guys tell me, oh, I met this woman on Tinder and she came right over and fucked me. A pro isn't going to do that. They're a lot harder to get. So I don't need guys slamming me for being selective. The problem is a lot of guys get very angry at women because you think that we have it easier because we can get sex. And you hate us for that, but that's not what we want. Again, the comments tell me a lot about why you're striking out. And if you don't want a relationship, don't get on the app because you're gonna be frustrated. And ladies, when you read the comments from these guys, you will see that the majority of men on these apps are looking for easy vagina. They're vagina chasers. They think, well, I can't get a woman in real life, but online there are a lot of them, and all I have to do is swipe and I will get some easy pussy. That's not how it works. You're just going to be frustrated. I also had a lot of guys leave comments like, I'm not even on there. I enjoy the real life flirting. I meet women wherever I go. There was one guy that said, I meet women at the grocery store, the coffee shop, the gym, the trail, the dog park. That's the way to do it. Just start being friendly and start talking to people. And if you're a guy that we feel your energy, if you're a relationship-oriented guy and you're emotionally and financially stable, women are going to love you. It's that easy. You do not have to be on the apps. The apps are full of vagina chasers. The other place you see vagina chasers are at the bar. They get drunk and then they start running up the vaginas, seeing which is the easiest one that they can slip their dick into. And once they've ejaculated inside that vagina, they toss that woman aside because they got what they wanted. We women are not that stupid because we evolved through millions of years to play your, to see your game, and you lose status from a million miles away. So we are more selective, but there are 20% of women who are going to be DTF either because they're in a temporary phase of their life or because they were sexually abused and they lead with their sexuality, but you're not getting high quality women. You're getting women who are fresh out of a relationship, and you're getting women that were sexually abused, and so they're very dominant and controlling and cold, emotionally cold. They're not the nurturing women. The typical nurturing woman, the one that's at home sewing, knitting, cooking, hanging out with her friends, going to church, is not going to be on the dating apps, or she's going to be on the Christian dating app, and she's not going to be DTF. So if you're a vagina chaser, you have to scrape the bottom of the barrel. What I highly recommend you do is go for a fat woman, because they'll be lucky just to get your attention, but be sure to be honest and let her know that she's just a piece of meat to you, because otherwise you're going to break her heart. These women are not used to getting a lot of attention, and they are going to mistake your sexual interest for personal interest. And that's why I call these men predators. Someone said, well, why are you calling these men predators? The women are agreeing to it. The women are naive. The women are naive. They don't realize that you're just wanting their vagina and then you're going to discard them because they're thinking like a woman. Because a woman typically will have sex with a guy that she likes. She'll be like, I could see myself dating this guy. I think I'll go out with him. He's so nice to me. I want to have sex with him. He must like me too. No, he just wants your vagina the same way that he needs a toilet to pee in when he needs to urinate. And that's how a lot of men see women, as disposable, dehumanized sex objects. So that's why we as women have to be really selective, and we have evolved a lot of very good subconscious signals. And also a lot of what builds attraction for a woman are these kind of more like things that you can't show about yourself online. I'm speaking of like your voice, your pheromones, the way you walk, the way you laugh, the way you talk to other people, your posture, your energy, your smile. These things you cannot show in a profile, but these are the things that subconsciously have always helped women form attractions to men. Your scent, your pheromones. So you're at a huge disadvantage when you're on an online dating app because you guys are visual and you think that women operate as visual, and we do not. We operate with all of these millions of subconscious things that we don't even know, like your pheromones and your voice has a huge impact. And so when you're just online, you have reduced yourself from a whole human being into like 2 pixels. So you better know how to present yourself well, and you're only gonna, if you're just looking for easy vajayjay, you're gonna strike out in real life or online. And that's the real problem, that most men online are vajayjay hunters, and that's why they're not getting any women. And they're complaining in the video I made. I gave them tips for meeting women, but they don't like those tips because those tips I give you are, if you want to meet women, you have to be a person who wants a relationship. If you're just trying to slide your dick in and grease your dick, I suggest you get a pocket pussy or go on some other sites to figure out how to get easy sex. But you're only going to appeal to traumatized women, women newly out of a relationship, and wounded women, because emotionally healthy women are not DTF. I'm sorry. Women thrive sexually when they feel secure and provided for and loved, not in these like casual hookup situations. That's why you see women having affairs with their bosses for years. They're not DTF. They're waiting for the guy to leave his wife. They're waiting. Even the women that are friends with benefits, I guarantee you, she thinks that eventually you're going to realize how great she is and commit to her. That's how we're wired. So if you want a woman to just fuck you on the regular, that's why I'm saying get a relationship. That's how you get regular sex. If you don't want a commitment and you just want a woman to fuck you on the regular and be feminine and submissive and fuck you regularly, that doesn't exist. You're talking about a unicorn. I have never heard of such a thing. I've heard of cold, emotionally walled off women that are DTF and the regular woman, and then, a sprinkling of various kinds of women who are autistic, were sexually abused, emotionally walled off, or some young women exploring their sexuality in college or after a divorce. It's just a mishmash of wounded women or women in transition is all you're going to get when you're DTF. And that doesn't mean women don't like sex. We love sex. We love good sex. That's what we want. We want good sex. And you can't have good sex on the first time. It's not going to be good. You don't know our body yet. We don't know you yet. Sex will get better and better each time with the same person as you feel more comfortable, as you learn to trust each other. And the best sex is in a relationship. That's where women are having the best orgasms. Women in hookups are usually not having orgasms. So women love sex, and that's why they want a relationship, because relationship sex is the best sex. And not all relationships, but that's where it can happen. That's where you've laid the foundation for it to happen. And I don't think men are as in tune with that, because if you're just looking for an ejaculation device, any woman will do. But if you want to have really good sex, then you want to be in a relationship with that woman, because it is better even for the guys. So women do love sex, but we just require more of you. We're not going to just have it as enjoyable with any penis just because you happen to be attached to it. You're not that special. Your penis isn't that special. If a woman just wanted penetration, she could just use a dildo. And I hope that men will understand this after me explain this on this video. If you're DTF, you're going to end up with a lower quality woman who is in transition, and it's going to be a small percentage of the population, and she's probably going to fuck you once, and then she's going to ride off because she doesn't want to bond with you. Women who have sex with you repeatedly are going to bond with you, and they're going to want a relationship with you, and we're designed that way. And that's a beautiful thing about us women, that men who understand women already understand. And that's why the majority of men, once they hit 30, they don't hook up anymore, because they know the woman's always going to get attached and want a relationship, because that's how women are. So it's just the predators going around who don't give a crap. And they're hoping that they will come across that one woman who is like the porn woman. But she's just going to ride you once and then take off. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it, but that's just really not my vibe and what I'm into. So I can't really help you get that. But I just think that it's a long shot. And you've got, you know, most of the people on the apps are men looking for that 20% of women who are DTF. And they're all disappointed. And when I say this is how you get women, this is how you get a relationship, they're complaining, well, we don't want a relationship. Well, that's the problem for us women, because it's all guys trying to get easy vajayjay. And they're low quality men that are not worth fucking. So that's why I am not getting on those apps anymore. I think a man should pursue a woman. I think that a man should use his sexual prowess and his dick energy and his testosterone to pursue women in real life for a relationship, so he can have good sex and she can have good sex. It's a win-win. But if you're looking for easy vagina, the dating apps, only 20% of the guys are going to get it on there, because most women are not there for that, and most of the people on the apps are men, so you have a lot of competition with men who have better profiles than you. So it's much better to just try to make friends with the women in your actual social circle, because you have a much better chance of attracting a woman when you can bring all of yourself to the encounter. Like the guy who's going to the dog park. He's got his dog with him. He's actually seen out and about. He's walking, he's moving, he's talking. The woman can see his voice, how he's dressed, smell his pheromones, see how he interacts with the other people, see how he treats his dog. There are a million different data points that she can use to build attraction to him in the grocery store, on the trail, and all of that. That's where you guys are going to have a real chance at meeting someone. And again, if you're very desperate, you can always hire a pro, but a lot of guys will never even qualify for a pro because they're too disrespectful or too broke. So, you know, I'm sorry, you guys just want to plunder women for sex, and we're just not down for that. They always say women are the gatekeepers of sex and men are the gatekeepers of relationship. And again, I made a video about how we're spiritual beings in physical form, and we got to blend that. I also think that the sex and the relationship, we got to blend that. Women are the gatekeepers to sex, men are the gatekeepers for a relationship. But if you form a relationship, you're going to get a lot of sex. The guy will get a lot of sex, the woman will get the relationship, and everyone will be happy. But, you know, a lot of guys don't want that. They don't want that. They just want the easy vajayjay. So I can't help you. I don't think anyone can. But good luck out there.